Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Let's start it with this. Grind control to major time. Take your pill, look your protein pill, and get on. What up, everybody? How we doing today? Don't want this. I cut myself shaving, so don't think I got punched in the face by some anti-Palestinian protesters. We were demonstrating yesterday, 6 o'clock in the evening. Every day between 5 and 6, they go and demonstrate in front of a highway, which I'm proud of my American brothers and sisters, especially the fucking women, man. They come out for Palestine big motherfucking time. God bless those white women, the black women, the Hispanic women, all women of the world. Thank you. God bless you. We love you. And free Palestine between the river and the sea. Fuck you too. So how's everybody doing, man? We got a good show for you today, man. We got a good show for you today. We got fucking Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan finally pushes a fucking Israeli guest on some bullshit they were saying. Thank God he finally did it, man. Let me fix my head is high. I don't have the producer with me here. And we're going to talk about Brianna Wu, or Brian Wu, whatever the fuck her name is. She's one of the worst human beings on fucking Twitter, on YouTube. She was supposed to be a part of the progressive victory, where she would just get them money by those motherfuckers. And all of a sudden, well, I'm having a hard time with the left. I just don't like the way the left, one of those motherfucking David Rubin move where I'm tired of the left, because the money is where the right wing is. That's where I'm a right winger from now on. Only Donald Trump fucking doesn't become a Zionist douchebag. I'll support him. But it looks like every presidential candidate from the Kennedy to only Joe, what's her name? Only the Jewish candidate. I don't know her name is Jill Stein. Yeah, Jill Stein. She's the only one who is pro-Palestinian. The Jewish candidate is pro-Palestinian, and all the other motherfuckers are bought by AIPAC and scared to talk. You know how they are. They're scared. They're like, I can't say what I really feel. Because Let me load it a little bit, right? Let me load it a little. Give me a second. Yeah, it's good now. So I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. Was sick today. I ate some fucking ice cream. I'm allergic to that motherfucking that had almonds in it, or whatever, or some kind of fucking peanuts. I'm allergic to it. Never was allergic to peanuts until I fucking got to this age. I don't know why. I could eat paper. When I was young, I could fucking eat cartons from the street and nothing would happen to me. Once you start going up in that age, anything you eat, it just becomes against you. We don't have our fucking brothers and sisters yet. So we're going to start slowly but surely. Let's start with Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan, as you know, he's been fucking, every time somebody comes who speaks on behalf, do you condemn October 7? Do you condemn October 7? Motherfucker, October 7 had happened 8 months ago. We're 50,000 dead away, 15,000 children dead away from that fucking day. Go Palestine. Anybody, can you write a letter to Donald Trump and tell him, listen, he could have the Arab vote, the Muslim vote, as long as he's fucking stop talking about he's an Israeli fucking Asian, right? Okay, let's go.
But Israel did it anyway. Many of the details are...
I love this video, okay? We're going to start from the beginning. And Piers Morgan, who is pro-Israeli, pro-Jewish, pro-Zionist, everything you can, once in a while, either the payment is late or he feel like he has some independence. He could say whatever he wants. So he invites Wajad, I think his name is Ali Wajad. He's a Pakistani American. And he invited the so-called Israeli citizen who have a fucking English accent. I don't know how that happened. Let's listen to it, and we're going to talk about the video, okay? Let's go. Let's get going!
Let's not start with this line of questioning.
Actually, I'm going to start with this line of questioning. If you've got no idea how many civilians you killed, why should I believe a word about the numbers of Hamas? Wow! Yeah, I'm obsessed with how many civilians are being killed.
You and I have eyes. The world has eyes. We have seen Rafah get bombed. She represents the general psychopathy of the Israeli government. Sometimes, when you invite me to debate, I sit here and go, I don't have to say a word.
When you bomb a refugee camp, that is a strategy. International aid organizations and Israel's biggest allies have warned in unison for months, in no uncertain terms, that attacking Rafah would cross a red line.
There's no red
Israel
line.
did it anyway. Many of the details are still disputed.
Only red line is fucking the fucking white line that Hunter Biden fucking snores in the morning.
The only one that isn't is that dozens of people, only 2 of whom were Hamas targets, were killed. The International Court of Justice issued an order for Israel to halt any strikes on Rafah just days earlier. Israel admits that the area struck was not included in the list of locations in Rafah where civilians have been told to evacuate.
Right.
Prime Minister Netanyahu said the civilian deaths were a tragic mishap.
Yep.
But as with every so-called tragic mishap in this war, nothing much has changed. The red line seems to move at Israel's beck and call. This weekend, President Biden outlined details for a ceasefire plan, which he said had Israel's backing.
Okay, hold on.
For the past several months, my negotiators of foreign policy, intelligence community, and like have been relentlessly focused, not just on a ceasefire that would inevitably be fragile and temporary, but on a durable end of the war. That's been the focus, a durable end of this war. One that brings all the hostages home, ensures Israel's security, creates a better day after in Gaza without Hamas in power, and sets the stage for a political settlement that provides a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike. For months, people all over the world have called for a ceasefire.
All right, hold on. Let me just keep this shit straight for you guys. There's an article in the Wall Street Journal, that a 2,000-word or 3,000-word article on that Joe Biden falls asleep during meetings in his cabinets, or he starts whispering. He will go like, well, we need to do this. We got to do that, and we got to do this. He starts whispering to the point they think he has fallen asleep. He doesn't know where the fuck he is every day. There's a red line. There's a red line. There's a blue line. Don't do that, Netanyahu. One day he says he's arguing with Netanyahu. The next day he says he's not arguing because he can't remember. This guy is a zombie. He's a walking zombie, man. The Democrats going to get... The problem is the Republican got another fucking douchebag. We don't know who to vote for. We need to import a leader. Maybe we could get a leader from another country, because 330 million Americans, we cannot produce two viable citizens who have good memories or know where the fuck they are at certain times of the day. Joe Biden, according to the Wall Street Journal, did an interview with all his cabinet. He falls asleep during cabinet meetings where they have to wait. Everybody's afraid to wake him up. And that's a travesty on us, on the American people, that we got this guy walking around. He has no memory of all what he's doing. It's unbelievable what's going on. Go ahead.
Now it's time to raise your voices and demand.
Yeah, demand.
Hamas come to the table, agrees to this deal, and end this war that they began.
You're a fucking douchebag.
On this, the president is surely right. It is time for the war to end. Civilians in Gaza need more aid and need it fast. Israel needs to bring its hostages home. The watching world needs to see a credible plan for the security and rights of Gaza beyond the bloodshed, and that cannot surely include Hamas. Netanyahu responded by appearing to distance himself from that plan, saying that Israel's conditions have not changed. He's now routinely embarrassing the President of the United States by ignoring pretty much everything he says. The time has come for Israel to listen to its top allies. Killing innocent civilians as they cower in refugee camps, whether intentional or otherwise, cannot be tolerated. And make no mistake, Hamas is a genocidal terror network whose wicked goal
you gotta push that in there. You gotta push that in there.
But once again, I find myself asking, how much further can this go before Israel is guilty of the very terror it's supposed to be fighting?
They are already.
Well, in a moment, we'll be debating this with Wajah Ali and Fleur Hassan Nahum. But first, I'm joined by Ambassador Majid Bamia, the Deputy Permanent Observer of the State of Palestine to the United Nations. Well, welcome to you, Ambassador.
Let me start. I got to move this along.
This question.
This is not.
Do you see any future for Gaza after this war that includes Hamas in any form of power?
So it's for Palestinians to choose their governments, and what we saw from the Israeli response to the Biden speech is the wish to continue the war, continue killing civilians, continue in its attempt to designate who it wants to govern Gaza under their own authority, and its ability to continue invading and occupying our land. That is not possible. Okay. The future we see is one.
I wasn't planning on watching this, but let me skip it until we get out to our main event, right? Let's get ready to rumble. Piers Morgan grew a dick in the middle of the night, and when he did his show, he came back from the show, and APAC called him, the ADL called him, his bosses called, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working for us. You've been lying for the last 8 months. Finish it.
Identity,
this is what you do.
Is our statehood. And they're not being very discreet about it, if you just listen to them.
Take your
Ambassador, I appreciate you joining me and being so frank. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
Well, I'm joined now by the host of the Democracy-ish podcast, the commentator and columnist Wajah Ali, and Fleur Hassan Nahum, the Israel Special Foreign Ministry envoy and former deputy